know it yet.
Yeah, I don't even know, but I'm down.
Can you guys hear me well?
Unfortunately, yeah.
No one asked you anything. Oh, sorry. We're talking to our esteemed guests here. Officer Lear, can you have a seat? You're going to give us motion sickness.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, thank you. That height isn't bad enough, right? Cat, I'm getting it for you today, okay?
Don't laugh at that, Gail. Don't laugh at that.
Well, it looks like we got everyone here. We're 3 minutes past the hour. Today we have a very special guest, a very accomplished police officer. Actually, one of the greatest things is I started my career kind of in the hands of this guy because he was my first PT instructor within the academy.
That's right.
So
that's where it went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it all went wrong.
Lopez, will you check this
Found
guy
the
right
culprit.
now? Lopez. So Lopez, Officer Joseph was our PT. One of his big things is why I asked him on the show, because he is like the guru of wellness and lifetime fitness. So a lot of our kids in the program, they're in our martial art program, soccer program, tutoring, Girl Scouts. I don't know how familiar you are with some of the LAPD youth programs, but we got a lot going on here. We're gonna have some cadets, junior cadets, PAL. What am I missing there, Lear?
I'm walking inside my gym. Hang on.
There's some bad kids on here, like that Officer Piemonte. Just some bad individuals all together, you know. But we're happy to have everybody here today. Anybody that showed up and tuned in, we're happy here.
Can you guys hear?
We can. Can you hear us?
Hang on. I barely hear. Hang on. Let me see if I can zoom from another angle.
Yeah, he can't hear us well.
It's like it's real faint.
That's just Lee's normal voice, normal speaking voice. He has no bass to his voice for some reason. You know, it comes across real light.
Plenty of bass to this guy's voice. And I got to share a story with you guys. Have to share a story with you guys when I get uploaded here. Okay, Zoom is coming up.
Thank you, Officer.
So Lee, if you use the bottom of your diaphragm, Lee, it helps a lot. You know, I think you're using the top of your diaphragm. You gotta use the bottom. It's gotta come. There it is.
Okay, I got it now. All right.
All right, so I'm gonna come off this Zoom and come on my laptop. All right, so hang tight.
All right. So children, this is what we call the experience of technical difficulties. In the old days of television, before tablets and computer screens, when technical difficulties would happen, the screen would be this like rainbowish color, and then they take a little break, and then we'll come back. And you guys are probably like, what is he talking about right now? But yeah. Let's see, who all we have here? We got Rosalind, Israel, Rodrigo, Amy, Uriel, Karen, Margarita. Who's Margarita? Have we met? Herbert. We got the Pinedos and the Bautista brothers. What's going on, Kevin? All right, Sergeant Joseph's coming back.
All right. Boom, I'm back. I hear you just fine.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, so
all right, so
no, I was before I cut off, I was gonna remind me, you know, I got like 20 minutes here. I want to remind me how quick story about Mr. Lee here, you know. that I remember, you know, so
Record.
I'll just remind me.
We'll let you actually begin with that before we get into your history.
Okay, so
where you grew up, high school, and all that. So we'll let you break the ice with that to entertain Mr. Lear.
One of the things about Lee here was when in the academy, he wasn't the best runner, you know. So there's hope for you guys that can't run. He was like the slowest runner in the academy, but deep down inside, I knew he was an athlete. And what was funny was everybody was like, oh, he can't run. Back then, I was in a crew with mostly runners. And there was only a few real fighters. And but I noticed something, and I remember walking past him and said, man, I bet you do. I know you do martial arts or something, right? He goes, oh, I don't want to talk about my martial arts, right? And I was like, okay, cool. We won't talk about it. Keep it quiet, you know. But I kind of knew. I just figured, you know. So one day we had our grappling day. You know, when you guys get to the academy, you're gonna have to test your skills on the mat. And you know, Officer Lee here pretty much ran through everybody, man. And when it was done, I went upstairs and I was telling my guys, I told y'all he was I can't cuss. He was a bad butt, you know. They're like, oh, but he still can't run. I said, wait a minute, but he will whoop all of you guys' butt, I guarantee you. All right, boom, fine. We got that out of the way. He proved himself. It was cool. Nobody said anything. No one wants to touch this guy. He graduates from the academy saying, hey, man, we're going to have to get together and grapple, right? And usually we say that to each other, recruits, and I never see him again. This guy actually comes back, shows up on the mat. We didn't say, how's the family? We slapped hands on the mat, and we were at it. And let me tell you, I was so thrilled and impressed. He was hard to take down. It was like a chess match. And it's like, it was something that real warriors want to feel, man. And from that day on, man, I've just been like super impressed in what he's doing. And I knew it would come to this point where he'll be developing people and mentoring kids in that way, using judo, jujitsu, whatever. It's so important, man. I just want to say how proud I am of him over the years. He even came back to our instructor course as an adjunct instructor, and he was kicking butt there. You know, it's just like, man, I'm just so proud of him. So I never got a chance to really sit down and say that, but this would be the perfect time to do. So never judge his color. I mean, he's all buff now, but he was kind of bigger than buff in the academy, man. But now he's like lean, man. It'd be cool. It'd be really cool, guys.
But thank you for the kind words. And I mean, I got the same for you. That's why I had to have you on the show. The kids are gonna learn how accomplished you are and what a great motivator you are, you know? Because unfortunately, we lost him as our instructor, I wanna say 3/4 of the way through. And it was kind of a devastating blow for our class because he had brought us to a point and it was hard for the next person to kind of fulfill those shoes, you know? So yeah, we got to get back on the mat again. I'm always wanting that to happen.
Well, I think it's gonna happen. It's just trust me. The pandemic kind of changed everything because we were about to get to it. But I think that's a segue to what I want to go into. Greatness is not what you think, and we're gonna cover. I got a few minutes, so we're gonna cover a lot of stuff because I just don't. When I talk to people, I would love for you all to be law enforcement officers. But the fact is, some of you guys right now are in a program where you want to be something else. And that's totally fine. How you doing, sweetheart? It's my wife. So he started off with a story where I literally got kicked out of the academy as an instructor because I was teaching real techniques. They called me Mr. Out the Box because not only was I just teaching from the curriculum, I would teach values. I would instill values. I would inspire. I wasn't the average yell at you type of officer. I was kind of like, I mentored my whole class up to be the best that they can be every day. At that time, which is almost like, oh man, like 10, 12, 15 years ago, that wasn't the norm. Generally, as officers, it's a quasi-military. You have to follow the line. You have to say the script. And I just believed I didn't go off script. I just brought the script to life. I made it make sense. And I always tried to inspire with morals, values, and character. And I wanted you confident with your fighting ability, but I also wanted the first class that I ever had, 507, I also wanted them to be confident in their life skills. I never want to make robots to the people I mentor. I want to make you, and I see the names there, Alberto. I want you to be the best Alberto you can be. There will never be another Alberto in this world other than you. There were people out there that might have your same name, but no one, my man, no one, my brother, can do it like you. Iker Gomez, man. You know, that's the first I ever heard a name like, man, what are you going to do with Iker Gomez? I mean, who can handle you when you get inspired and fired up? You know, Andre, I see you over there, Partita. I mean, hey, there is not another Andrea Partita, maybe by name, but not by cell, okay? And I want you to be inspired. That Giovanni, I see you over there. You're getting up in here. How you doing? There's not another Giovanni Martinez on the planet that's set here to inspire. And
wait a second, Sarge. Do me now.
Wait. Who I got? All I see is Hollywood Power. I know who you are. I just don't have your name. I can't see your tag. What's your name?
Officer Lear, I'm Hollywood.
Yeah, I know who you are. I'm saying, man, of course, man, you're already brilliant. The fact that you're working with these kids, right? So I retreat. So I was angry, and then I was coming out of Rodney King. But what happened was, guys, the economy fell. And the only job that was hiring when my family business shut down was law enforcement. I tried to get a job as a trailer tractor driver, you know, and I never drove a trailer tractor in my life. I almost got the job with my personal skills. My brother, I have a twin brother named Dion. Hey, you know, you got to have him talking to you guys too. He's amazing. He was relegated to, we were running a restaurant business, and he was about to sell flowers on Crenshaw when he got the call to be a police officer. So when we came in, we were already real people. So coming into the academy and going through it, you know, I despised the work of it, but it changed me. It gave me discipline, but it didn't change me. And that's what I want you guys to understand. Don't ever change who you are. The second you try to conform and change into what people want you to be, when you mature, you lose, because all you're doing is working for someone else and not producing greatness within yourself. Hopefully I'm making it clear. Then there was a period, like I said, I got kicked out and I was bitter about the job of being in law enforcement, but it was twofold. I was bitter, yes. Yeah, I got kicked out of Arrested Control, Lifetime Fitness, for being out of the box for sure. But also, it made me realize I couldn't stand just having a job, guys. Something was kicking inside of me to be an entrepreneur. So there are a couple of you I may be talking to that may not be police officers. You may be an entrepreneur. Whatever your talent is, that may be the way you make money. I found fitness, and I thank the department for it, because they groomed me how to be a great instructor, how to put me out there and do speeches and presentations. But I was already a great speaker, and I was already great at fitness. So I became certified and started a fitness business. Now, guess what? Here I am. I'm in law enforcement, and I'm running a successful business at the same time. Now, that's twofold. Now, not everybody can have off-duty work. If you have a bad rap sheet, you know, you're calling in sick all the time, you may not have your work permits approved. Mine got approved, and I started this great business, and I thank the department for it. I've been doing the fitness business for almost, going on like 14 years now. And that's through my training from the academy. I do thank the academy for that. So you know what I did? Even though I didn't like it at the time, I learned from it, you know. When I got kicked out of the academy, because life's gonna have different turns and avenues, I got kicked out and sent to recruitment. So while here I am being this personal trainer, but guess what? I needed to know how to set up booths. I needed to know how to make presentations. So recruitment taught me how to do that. They taught me how to public speak. They taught me how to smile for the camera, know how to say the proper buzzwords. But I was taken from the job, and I was selling, it was helping me sell myself as a fitness trainer and entrepreneur. Guess what? Now I know how to make a booth, make flyers, walk into different radio stations and make arrangement business deals from what the department taught me. So I'm learning twofold, you know, so don't limit yourself to just one thing. You know, you got to do your academy time, you got to do your probation, but after you pass that, you're in good standing and you still have dreams. It's dreams that make my job as a police officer proud. It's having the opportunity to do other things. Then I went from recruitment to media relations. Media relations taught me how to speak even more disciplined. It taught me how to write better, you know, press releases and speaking in front of the camera. Guess what, guys? That translated right into my dreams. Right now, I have no fear of stepping on any stage and doing any kind of presentation. Just right now at 3 o'clock when I got online, what's the first question I asked? I don't know what we talk about, but we're gonna talk about it. And for me to be able to sit here and freestyle and talk about it, man, that's inspiring to me, and it should be inspiring to you. Well, guess what? All this LAPD and chasing my dreams, it also led to me be a book author and a talk show host. I've done it all because of the integrity and the values that this department instilled in me. So for all you may have friends that are in the academy, I was ousted for being out of the box. You may have friends that may not like the fact that you're working with police officers now due to today's climate, right? They may not like the fact, but guess what? You're not learning what they're learning. You know, you may not even enjoy what you're doing or like tell you to do some push-ups or whatever, whatnot, but those push-ups you're doing right here in PAL or whatever you're doing is enhancing what you're doing in school right now. You're doing something greater. You're adding to your pot. So I guarantee you guys, 5 years from now, when you guys are adults, 10 or whatever years, when you're mature, you're gonna have something that whether you liked it or not, you learned something that instilled discipline. You had positive mentors in your life to grab you and mold you. Even if you agree or disagree, they spend time with you. So guess what? You know how. You guys know how to spend time with other people you're trying to bring up. There's no secret to success. Success is simply your ability to influence and inspire, all right? Sometimes you're gonna have to get out there and talk and freestyle, all right? And I live by the principle of behaviors, all right? So there's preparation, action, maintenance, pre-contemplation, and contemplation. Let me take you through the steps. Let's go with pre-contemplation first, guys. So whatever your dream is, the same formulas apply. Pre-contemplation. This is pre-contemplation, and I'll put it in terms of the fitness world. Oh, I want to get in shape, you know, and my homeboy comes up to me in a water cooler and he goes, hey man, let's go for a walk. And you say something like, man, that walking's tough. I might die. I don't think I'm gonna do that today. That's pre-contemplation. You don't want to hear it. Or, hey man, let's go to the boxing gym and box a little bit. Let's do some jujitsu. Nah, you know, jujitsu is for 60s. That is pre-contemplation. You don't even want to hear about it yet, right? And then there's contemplation. You saw your friend. Now that friend's inspiring you. Wait a minute. He looked pretty good throwing that jab cross hook. I think I want to try it. So you start like buying videos. You know, you have too much of ego to tell them you're ready to join, but you're buying videos. You're even shadowboxing a little bit. Now you're kind of contemplating, but you ain't there yet, all right? Then there's preparation, all right? You've shadowboxed a little bit. You've shed off that ego. You even ran around the block a couple of times and it's like, you know what? I didn't die. Let me prepare. Let me buy some clothes. Let me buy some gloves. Let me get that jump rope. Let me get that gi, right? And let me just feel it out and see. And then there's that action phase, guys. And let me tell you the effect of the action phase. It's the most dangerous phase, but yet the most brilliant phase. The action, you said, I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna go do it, right? Now, 2 ways you can do the action phase. The safe way is to be nice, don't have an ego. Let's use the boxing gym. I'll share a story of me doing action the wrong way. So I went into a boxing gym one day because, you know, I had started my judo grappling, and I watched a boxing tournament, a police boxing tournament. And I said to myself, I can kick all they butts. I can whoop all of them. This is gonna be easy, you know? And all I did was lift weights and do a little judo, right? A guy sitting next to me says, those guys will mop you up. Oh no, they tired, you know. So I started training with him. He was a retired police officer, Berners White. He took me out to the valley and I sparred with a 45-year-old Jamaican man. But he watched me work a little bit. So I'm working the bag and my coach said, hey, CJ, don't take off your shirt because if you take off your shirt, they're gonna see blood. I'm like, what? Let me take off my shirt. So I took off my shirt. Hey, calm down when you hit the bag. I'm like, no, I got this. So I started wailing on the bag. I wanted my pecs were popping, my six pack, whatever. And I just wouldn't calm down. So finally, the old boxer, and I shouldn't say 45 because I'm 48 now, so that ain't old, guys. You know, he looks
One
over.
quick quote. Oh, wait.
Go ahead.
Was this boxer's name Everton?
He boxed at the House of Champions.
Yeah, Everton from Canada. Jamaican dude.
Let me tell you, I got his name. Man, tell that brother, he is one of my most inspirational stories of my life change, okay? So, oh my God. Okay, we got to connect because I'll tell him the story. Man, he might remember. So I'm gonna detail his story so he can remember. So I'm moving around. So he goes, hey, coach, I see no boxes here, man. Let me work with the young man. So Bernie, he goes, he knows the lesson's coming. I don't know this. I go, yeah, let me work with him, son. Let me put the hands on him, son. So I get in the ring, right? And he goes, so do you want to hit it in the face? I said, man, I don't care. I got this. So I looked at my coach, and my coach goes, hey, dude, you really need to calm down. I'm like, oh, man, I'm calm. Wait till he sees this punch from Long Beach, the west side of Long Beach. Wait till he sees the west side left hook, right? Ding, ding, ding. The bell rings, right? And I'm moving around like a lightning rod, and I'm just moving. And this guy's, talk about, now this leads into professionalism versus amateurs. Watch this. This guy's moving slow as molasses, and he's just walking around the ring, and I'm running, just trying to get to him. I spent the whole round swinging, and I missed every punch. And it's not like he even ducked or moved. He just stepped back in inches, just in inches. And he says this, yeah, man, young man, you got heavy hands, man. You ready? And I'm like, ready for what, son? Are you ready for this? So he looks over at my coach. I look over at my coach. They look over each other, and they give each other the nod. I do a jumping hook, right? And I fall on the ground. And I got up, like, looking around. I was kind of embarrassed, right? And he's just standing there. You ready, man? I'm like, whatever, son. So he straight hits me with a right cross. It wasn't even hard, guys. It was a touch in the right place. And my eyes was just like faded. I was upset. I didn't get it yet. I looked around. I'm like, no, this didn't happen, son. That was lucky, coach. That was lucky, old man. So sure enough, I walk back up, and he lets me, I believe to this day, that man let me hit him in the stomach. I rear back. He gonna see the Long Beach right cross. I hit him as hard as I could in the stomach, guys, and it felt like my hand went inside of his belly and came out, and I stood there and looked at him, and I was hoping he'd be on the ground. And he just started laughing. Yeah, man, you're heavy-handed. He hit me with an uppercut, a hook, a right cross, and then the bell rang. I looked at my coach, and he goes, do you want to go one more round? I went like this. Yes. I was done. The lesson was learned. He had the nerve to walk over to me and say, you're a good kid now. You have heavy hands. You just got to settle down and learn. And that taught me a lesson of amateur versus professionalism, guys. Guys, if you want to be successful, you have to learn to take your time and learn your craft, okay? Here's the difference between an amateur and a professional in the action phase. An amateur in the action phase wants to go hard and do everything and do everything to everybody, no matter what it is in life. The professional guys, hear me on this, guys. The professional always has a plan A, B, C. Hey, who in here plays chess? You guys play chess? Oh, please don't tell us, it's just us old guys play chess. Well, in chess, you have to, if you want to be good at chess, you have to be 3, 4, 5 moves ahead of your opponent if you want to be really good. That's a professional. An amateur can only move a pawn and say, I got you. He doesn't know any better, okay? What do you guys want to be? An amateur in the action phase or a professional? Now, the amateur, after he continues loses and doesn't learn his lesson, he or she gives up and quits. That's why the action phase is so dangerous. But the professional that takes his or her time and learns gradually and molds his craft, whatever his or her dreams are, you can never take that away. Even when times get rough, you can fall back on your plan B, C, and D. That's what a professional does, guys, in the action phase. Now, When you survive that, young people, when you survive and master the action phase, which you never master, it turns into a phase called maintenance, right? It's when you're able to maintain your excellence, okay? And so think of all the people that are maintaining their excellence. There are two gentlemen that are about to go into a ring and fight each other in November. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. You guys know who those guys are? You don't know, Giovanni? You got to do your homework. You don't know Alberto? Oh man, hey Lee, you got to keep him up to, these two were
I try.
two of the greatest boxers that ever lived. They're about to fight in the ring after years of retirement. If you watch their workout videos at this stage right now, as compared to when they were young, they look like in their 50s, almost what they look like when they were in their 20s, especially Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's almost 54 years old. Mike Tyson looks like the old Mike Tyson of 20. That, my friends, is professionalism. Now, how does that correlate to life? Who's that there? Alberto, I know I don't. You're on mute. But do you have a goal in mind? Do you have a dream?
My dream is to be the president of America.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. So what is your plan to be president, Alberto? What is your plan? It's always one thing to say it, but it's another thing to have a plan.
Anna, one more. You mean like what I want? How do you say? What I want to do?
Yeah.
When I'm president?
How do you plan?
Yeah. So if I'm president, I will like help people. I'll help like homeless people. I'll help like other nations that need like support, that need water, food. I'm like Africa, they have like dirty water, so I want to donate like money to them if I'm president.
Wow. I like that. So I think Alberto, you have my vote. So I'm going to be watching you. I heard what you said, so I'm going to remember you when I see you. All right. So remember, you want to be an amateur president, or do you want to be a professional president?
Professional.
So that means you got to study. That means you got to have a plan. That means you got to sit there and hit those books, and you got to talk to people. Are you afraid of talking to people, Alberto? All right, good.
In my school, I like to dance in front of everybody.
Oh my goodness, I'm not even worried about you. How about Allison there? Allison, do you have a dream? I'm gonna start running. Can you hear me, Allison? Oh, can you hear me? What about Giovanni down there? Can you? Oh, there you are, Allison. No, Allison, I'm gonna talk to you. Allison, do you have a dream?
I'd like to be a veterinarian.
Awesome. Let me celebrate that, because guess what? Not everybody has to be a police officer, right? But let me tell you, that same formula of excellence is the same thing. So what do you got to do? What do you think you have to do to be a veterinarian?
Study and read books about animals.
Now, let me ask you a serious question. In order to be the best veterinarian, you got to like animals. Do you like animals?
Yes.
All right. Do you like all animals?
Some.
Some? No, but you're going to learn to like all of them, right? Because that's what you're going to have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
So, Allison, I'm looking at you right now. I remember your name, and I remember your face. When you get out of college, I expect to see wherever you're a veterinarian, I expect to walk my dog in there and have you take care of her, okay?
Okay.
All right. Giovanni Martinez, you can unmute if you can. Oh, if not, that's okay. I don't, might be you might be a top secret Navy SEAL that can't unmute yourself, but that's fine, But you know what? Let me test this. Let me test our senior men out, to the officers there. Do you guys still have dreams? Why don't you share with them what your dreams are? You can go first, Lee.
Oh, well, my big dream is that Officer Lear will grow up to the finest young man he could ever be in his life. But on a serious note, my biggest dream is retiring, a nice Caribbean place, open up a little restaurant that I go in once a month and serve my friends and all the tourists that come. So every day is a process to make that happen.
I heard him say that. See, the great thing is you guys were spitting all this stuff in the air out amongst friends. So when I retire, I expect to fly to Lee's Island, and I expect the best customer service ever. I heard you. Officer Lear, can you share with our young people that you still have dreams? Because this can't just be it. There's more to life than just law enforcement.
Yeah, this isn't it. You're right. Absolutely. This isn't it. But something that you touched on that was really profound, and that's the action. That's taking action. So it doesn't matter what your dream is. You can dream all you want. And what we try to teach our kids is unless you put some action behind that dream, you're not going to accomplish anything. So just to tell you my dream, I'm in real estate. I want to get a certain amount of units in real estate by a certain day. And that's my dream. And I continually put persistent, consistent action behind that to make sure I obtain and achieve that goal.
Man, that's excellent. So we heard him say it because, hey, in about 10 years or so, I'm tired of my house, man, and my wife's getting tired. So I'll be looking. So I'll be looking to you, Officer Lear, for the dream. So he said it. And amongst our circle of power, our circle of friends, this gets to my last point. Your circle of friends. Your circle of friends is so important to your success. I'm going to ask you this question, and then I got to get to my client on the treadmill there, just walked in. Do you want friends that are better than you, or friends that are just as good as you, or do you want friends that aren't as good as you? Raise your hand if you want friends that are better than you. Okay? Raise your hand if you want friends that are just as good as you. How about friends that are worse than you? Good. My wife says friends that compliment you. All right. I'm sorry. She's my wife. I don't want to get beat. So, and I also want to eat. So I got, yeah. So here's why you want friends. Take the top tier. Always take the top tier. It doesn't mean that they're better you as a human being. It means if you have friends that are successful all the time, like if you're hanging with Alberto here, the president, you can't help but get better hanging around him. This doesn't mean you're being a leech. It means you're just as intense. You know, who would I rather want to hang with? A pimp or Kobe Bryant? Who would I rather hang? Whose work ethic would I want to hang with that's going to make me a better person? Your circle of friends is what's going to make you better. So if you have friends that are dragging your life, making bad choices, smoking, weed, whatever, whatnot, I promise you, hey, weed may be legal, but is it enhancing your life, Mr. President? Is it enhancing your life, Ms. Veterinarian? No, it's not. Find someone that's in your field that's way off the charts in brilliance, and you'll grow. You know why? Because I did it. I found mentors that input in me that made me better. Last thing I'll tell you this, and if you don't remember anything I tell you, remember this phrase. The worst mentor or supervisor I ever had, he was horrible, gave me the best line that worked for me. Every day is an oral interview. Today, you guys just impressed me with your interview, right? What does that mean, every day is an oral interview, Alberto? Real quick.
Wait, what was the question again?
What does every day is an oral interview?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I'll translate because I know my adults know. Every day, someone is watching you, right? Your mom, your dad, your next door neighbor, your auntie. I'll tell you a story to validate my point. Back in the 70s, we all wore these giant fros. Well, not all of us, but I sure did. I had an auntie in Louisiana that I threw a dart and it landed in her fro. To this day, the only thing my aunt remembers about me is I'm the 5-year-old that threw the dart into her afro, okay? People are watching you, Mr. President. People are watching you, Miss Veterinarian. Right now, they're watching you. How do you want them to remember you as you grow and start campaigning for your office? Wait a minute, man, I remember Alberto. He was always helping people. Man, he never lied. He never stole. And you know what? If I loaned him $1, he made sure he gave it back to me. That's how people will remember you. Do you understand now, Alberto? That's how you grow, guys. Guys, there's so much more to this, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you a little bit more, but I had to just give you a freestyle taste on what success is. Here's what I am. I'm not limited. I'm not just a police sergeant. I'm an author. I wrote a book. I'm a fitness coach. I do public motivational speaking, all right? And I own property. I'm so multifaceted. There's not, and believe it or not, I can do darn good at karaoke, all right? So I've won a few competitions, all right? So don't ever limit yourself. Develop at least 5 talents, guys. A plan A, B, C, D, E, and F. And it doesn't make one better or less. It just means when something doesn't work right now, that other thing will stop popping. And when that other thing pops, it's gonna grow that other thing. You guys are gonna be so great that you might be a great veterinarian, but because you're such a great veterinarian, people wanna know your views on politics because you're smart as a veterinarian. Do your job, guys. You guys have no excuse to be successful. You've got Officer Lear, Officer Lee here telling you. I'm telling you the truth, and there will be more people. Alberto, I'm gonna answer your question, then I gotta go.
You should be my vice president.
How you gonna put me a vice president? He don't put me a vice president. You know what? Okay, because you know what? I can't handle all that responsibility. I'm gonna let you lead, and I'm gonna be like this. That's what he said, yo. That's what he said. I'm gonna back you up.
When you're vice president, I'll get you some equipment for karaoke, and then you'll be singing when there's like some kind of like speech.
I've never heard of a singing vice president. I will be your singing vice president. Ho ho! Guys, hey Lee, we got to do this again. And I'll set aside a whole, do the whole success lecture. I appreciate you guys. You guys are gonna kill it. I remember your names, faces, and everything. So in a few years from now, I expect to see success come out of you guys. Brother Lee, thank you so much. Brother Lear, thank you both for having me out here. It was a pleasure, an unexpected treat, but I love doing it. All right? Cool.
We're going to have you again. Thank you for your time, Sergeant Joseph.
All right. God bless you guys. All right,
Thank
man.
you,
We
sir.
got to get our graphic on.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I got to end it. That's my wife. All right, bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.
Wow, guys, I don't know how you felt about that, but that was awesome.
It felt good.
He's really good, really good. Motivational speaking is something that's really important, and to get it from somebody that's on our department was really touching. I hope some of that resonated with you guys, and let's hear from you guys. What were some of the things that you took away from that? Some of the things that are going to stick with you from what he said today? Bautista, you want to go ahead? You want to start off? In either one of you guys? Something you took from what he said today?
Well, that we can make, I don't even know, that we have to like have different plans. So like when something doesn't happen doesn't mean that you have to end it, but like, I don't know what to say, but like we have different plans, right? And if one doesn't work out, you can work on another plan, but you don't stop doing that other plan. So like, and then you don't stop doing it. You're just like leave it at rest and then pick it up like slowly or something. I don't know if I can explain it.
Not bad. That's not bad. Go ahead, Yuritsa. Something you took away from what he said.
Everyone in the world is unique from each other, and nobody's the same. And there's one more. Oh, wait. No, it was something else. Oh, and nobody's gonna tell you what to do.
Very good. Very good.
I have a question for you really quick. So he mentioned a guy, Vernis White, who took him to that gym. Do you guys remember who Mr. White is? He's come to a lot of the promotions. He was there for Gigi and Miguel's black belt, Samantha's, as well as Samantha's brother. You guys remember him?
Mr. White. Mr. White? That's the name?
Not Bob White, but Mr. Vernis White. He's one of the guys, he's been on like 3 Blackboard panels since you've been in the program.
Is it okay if I leave?
Who's that?
I think it's Bobby.
Who?
Michael Nicholas.
Yes, Michael and Nicholas, if that's y'all.
I don't think that was them.
Oh.
Just to go back to Bautista, what he was saying about having backup plans. So if you have a plan A, like he was working at the academy, he was a fitness instructor at the academy, and he got kicked out because, you know, he had outside the box thinking. Just because he got kicked out doesn't mean that he was a failure. It means that he took whatever he learned from being that instructor in the academy, and he applied it to the next job or to the next adventure in his life. So what he was trying to explain to you is that failures shouldn't be considered failures. They're just stepping stones to your next action, your next step that you're going to take in life. So your failures should be looked at as successes. You know what I mean?
Let me piggyback on that, because it's perfect what he just said. And there's this guy I listened to, and he said, those who are most successful have the most failures. All right. A lot of your failures are blessings in disguise. And that's one thing that Sergeant Joseph was mentioning. For every failure, it actually became an open door for him. And he was in a state of ready so he can take that open door when it presented itself. All right. So if you guys aren't failing, that means you're not trying. Always remember that. All right. You're never going to get anywhere. It's like, for example, my martial artist here, when I'm coaching you guys, I tell you, hey, Kochigari, Uchimata, I shout about 5 to 6 different moves. Why? You're probably going to fail at 5 of them, but it's that 6th one that you're going to hit, right? Same thing in basketball. Officer Lear can tell you this. You got to take the shot. Without taking a shot, you're never going to make the shot. Same thing in soccer. Take the shot. So what if you fail? The more you take that shot, the more opportunity you have of making it. It doesn't work the other way around where you guys say, nah, I'm going to hold off to next time. Missed opportunity. And one thing he was mentioning was not putting all your eggs in one basket. Very old saying. I suggest everyone ask their parents that, because I think there's probably a translation of that in about every language on this planet. All right.
So true. Lee says it really profoundly. That's really, really true. There's the story about an inventor, and I think it was Benjamin Franklin who discovered or invented the light bulb. And he tried to invent the light bulb hundreds of times, and he failed and failed and failed over again. And after, I don't know, his 100th try of creating the light bulb, he went to somebody and asked them for the patent, asked them for some help on it. And that person said, well, you failed 100 times before. What makes you think that this is going to be the success? What keeps you going? What encourages you to think that after 100 times you're going to come up with success? And he said, I don't look at those 99 tries or 99 failures as failures. I look at those as 99 times I realize that's not the way I should be doing something. So I looked at those, he looked at those as being successes, even though other people consider them failures. Real good though, Batista, to think about that, to bring that up. Go ahead, Alberto.
I think one of the words that I remember he said was that to follow our dreams and to keep going.
Say it one more time.
I think one of the things he said was to follow our dreams and to not quit.
Yeah, very good. Very good. You're right. Absolutely right. Follow your dreams, whatever your dream may be. But when you follow your dream, you have to have something that goes along with it. And what is that?
Maybe a musician.
So where I'm trying to get at is you got to take action. Whatever that dream is, you got to take some action. He asked you about that. He said your dream was to be president. And he asked you the question, what action are you going to take? I don't think you heard him and you thought it was something different. So you said you're going to help establish water lines in Africa or whatever else it was that you said. But he was asking you, what plans are you going to put into motion? What action are you going to take to become president? And then that's when you would have said, I would get good grades. I would help out in my community. I would do things. You know what I mean? That's what he was trying to get at. And so if you have a dream, follow your dream, but put some action behind that. Cool? You're awesome, Alberto. You're awesome. Love that kid for some reason. Michael and Nicholas, how about you guys? What did you guys take away from this? Let's hear you guys.
Michael's not here.
Okay, go ahead, Nicholas. Tell me what you learned from our speaker today.
Speaker?
Our guest speaker. Yeah.
To mute yourself every time when someone.
To mute yourself when somebody else is talking? Yeah, you took it literal. All right, good for you. Good for you. Myrta?
Yes.
Yeah.
You forgot what it means when Lear calls your name. So I'm
Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you up, man. No, what did you take away from what we heard today from our speaker? Was it anything influential, anything that stayed with you or was going to help motivate you going forward?
There was so much that he said. He was just one of those clips, just a little well. He just, everything that spewed out of his mouth was something that was really good and inspirational. The one thing though that got me thinking a lot more was the goal. Like, what was your dream? And I was like, like I had to think about it, and I came to the realization that it is becoming a nurse when I retire from being a police officer. So I was like, okay, that is one of my dreams. You know, it's a second career. It's still helping people. It's still something that I've always wanted to do, and taking some steps is also like you. I'm taking classes. Well, not this semester, but I am taking classes to reach that goal or that dream of mine, to eventually be a nurse and help other people that can't, you know, help themselves, or even be out in another country volunteering. So that was one of the things that I was just like, aside from everything else he said, that was great, but that made me think a lot more, you know, so I brought it up.
Very cool. Very cool. Really awesome. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Clap it up for her, guys. Wow.
He's
Very
so
nice.
cute.
Be your best and don't follow your dreams. And follow your dreams.
Let's see how we're doing.
Who was that? I didn't get it.
I think that was Nico. He's unmuted. Now he's speaking. Can you repeat that for us, Nico? Because we didn't hear it. Sound like you had something great to say. Yeah, you can. The floor is yours, Nico.
Don't give up. Follow your dreams. Be your best.
Very nice.
Very true, guys. Very true. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard what Sergeant Joseph said, though. He authored a book. I know a lot of us, at least when I was young, I won't speak for everyone, but like, I didn't like writing, you know? And as an adult, you have to be able to write. So I challenge everyone, start looking at your writing, even when you text, because a lot of you guys on video games, you're texting, you're doing these short messages, start to fill in the blanks, meaning correct your punctuation. Make sure your spelling is correct, even on the most simplest things. Start to proofread, because actually the tool of your computer, your video game system, it gives you a great opportunity to practice writing, you know? And one of my dreams is actually, I want to write a few books myself, you know? So I look into, like, when I'm texting, I try and make sure I'm spelling things correctly. I'm using punctuation. Because in today's age, it's very easy just to send that message, LOL. Sometimes I write out laughing out loud, you know, and put an exclamation point. Because every day is a practice to improve. So right now, you guys have so many ways to improve upon the things that you may want to do or may not even know that you want to do, but take advantage of it, all right? Because when you're young, you always have those silly friends, and your friends are your friends. You know the ones that are a little more troublemaker, but you know, you're cool with them because that's your guy, that's your gal, you know? And it's your friend. But be that person always trying to encourage them to do better. You know, if you see them falling astray, hey, help them, because maybe they're calling out for your help. So there's so many little things you guys can do just on a day-to-day to improve. And I always preach that when I'm coaching you guys, every day you come to practice, you come there to improve. And that's the same with everything you do in life. So if you struggle in math, try and improve one little thing, you know? If you don't know the difference between decimal points and a fraction, figure that out on Thursday. Always challenge yourself for that improvement. And that's kind of the gist of what he was saying. Every day is a day to make yourself better. Every failure is really an opportunity. I mean, I'm blown away. I forgot how great of a speaker Sergeant Joseph was, but I took a lot from it, and I hope that you guys really got a chance to take a lot. We're going to invite him back because, I mean, one episode just won't do with him. We can probably get 6, and we're going to take something new away. And also, I'm going to get his twin brother on, who is another guy. We didn't hear all of his story, but hope that left you guys with something and a taste for more, a thirst for knowledge, a thirst for improvement. Okay, guys? Kat, Officer Lopez, y'all got anything to add before we send them about their way to do homework? Because I know it's a weeknight, a school night. Y'all still got homework assignments to do. I've seen some of y'all schoolology.
I just got one thing to say, and I say it to most of my junior cadets also. When you're learning something, maybe you're not good at it, maybe it's harder for you, don't give up on it. When you're good at something, keep working on it. Because both of those things are going to help each other one way or the other. What I'm talking about is like, you learn one skill from, say, what, it's echoing, sorry. Say, let's talk about math, right? If you're good in math, but you're not practicing your reading, when you get to your problem solving, how are you going to do math if you can't read the problem, right? So you're using one thing to help the other. Just like Sergeant Joseph was talking about, he used his skills that he learned from the academy. He used it for his personal business, and he's using it for all the other stuff that he dreams about. One thing is going to help the other. I think we have, we're also talking about some of our kids in martial arts. You can do martial arts all day long, but if you're not doing great with your cardio work, you're not doing the extra running and anything else, if you get tired, what's the use of your skill in martial arts if you get tired? Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
That's good, Kat. Really good. Very good. Officer Lopez?
No, I think Kat said it really good. Something I tell my kids every day. I put it forward for them that you know, when they grow up, they're still little, so I tell them, hey, you're going to be a doctor when you get older. Hey, you're going to be a doctor when you get older. Doctors have to have good grades. So now that they're getting older, they're like, well, can I be a chef? And I'm like, yeah, sure, you can be a chef, but you're going to be a doctor. So you can be a doctor chef. So if your goal is to become a veterinarian, or your goal is to become a president, or whatever, a good fighter, an author, whatever you want to be, that's fine. But while you're doing those things, other good things can come too, and you can do those things too. So don't set your limits so short. So if you guys want to be a veterinarian, yeah, you might be a great veterinarian, but you might write a book too in the process. Or you might become a great martial artist in the process. And so while you're trying to achieve those goals, that's when life happens. So just keep moving towards it.
Wow, the cadet program is locked away, squared away. You guys got some good officers in that program down there. Good for you guys. Thanks, guys. So, like Officer Lee said, you know, we're up to the end of our hour. Thank you for all tuning in. Make sure you get your homework done. Make sure you get your cardio in. Make sure you eat healthy and tell your parents that you love them. Okay? Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take care, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. And have no homework.
Bye.
Bye.
Your homework. All of it.
I have no homework. I already finished it all.
Stories, and alibis.
I have a record.
I hope not.
Normal soccer come, like normal like team soccer come.
It's not looking like we'll be able to do soccer until January. All the parks and all this, not stadiums, but soccer fields are closed right now. And we're not thinking that the governor is going to allow those to be opened until January. So stay tuned, stay with us, and hopefully in January we'll be back out there practicing again. But in the meantime,
you can do virtual martial arts in the meantime.
Yeah, we got virtual stuff. We got virtual martial arts. We got virtual soccer. We got so you if you want to get some activities in, you could join in either of those classes. Got it, Nico? Taking a business call right now.
A business call.
I know you were explaining it and he was on the phone.